Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I meant to do this review on the 24th, the evening of the 24th of December. Today is the 30th, and I also tried to do it on the 25th, but I got a chest infection and still recovering from it. I'm actually on medication right now, so because of that, it's delayed. So like I said, today is the 30th, and I'm going to try and upload this as soon as I'm done with it. So yeah, every Christmas period I try to watch one of my top three Christmas movies of all time, and they're not really the Christmas movies that we normally think of. However, they are set during Christmas, and for me, these are the top three. And in no particular order, they are Die Hard, the first one, Home Alone, which I think is a little bit more of people can accept that as a Christmas movie. The third one, which is the one that I've actually watched on the 24th, is Gremlins. Now, Gremlins is a movie which came out in 1984, directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus, and I think Steven Spielberg was the executive producer of this movie. For the longest time, I actually thought this was directed by Steven Spielberg, but nah, he's an executive producer. So this is a movie which I've watched many times, countless times I think, over the years. I know my sister likes it. We watched it together growing up, and some of my cousins like it as well. We watched it in my, I think my grandparents, in my grandmother's house during vacation. So the movie stars Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, Hoyt Axton, Polly Holiday, and Howie Mandel gives the voice of Gizmo, which is the main gremlin, or actually you should say he's the Mogwai. He's the creature from which the gremlins come on. And in case you don't know what gremlins are, it's basically it's this legend of mischievous creatures that are responsible for malfunctions in the airplanes, basically initially by the Royal British Air Force, or the British Royal Air Force, back in World War II, and I think somehow it seeped onto the US culture as well, where they kind of blame any of the malfunctions on these little creatures that are hidden most of the time, and they come and do pull plugs and destroy small things in your car. And I learned that actually from Bugs Bunny cartoon. So yeah, who says cartoons are an indication? So yeah, this movie is a little bit, it's comedy horror. It's a little bit of black comedy, I guess, but it is a very sweet movie for the most part, to be honest, until the Gremlins actually come in picture. So there's basically this inventor who's called Randall. He is in Chinatown. He's in an antique store trying to sell some of his inventions, but they don't seem to properly work. However, he wants to buy something for his son, a young man named Billy. And in the antique store in Chinatown, he sees this furry creature called a Mogwai, very cute, and it can actually hum and sing and all that stuff. It can even say a few small words. The owner, an much older Chinese gentleman named Mr. Wing, he refuses, saying that people aren't ready for the Mogwai. But the young grandson, he says, I'll sell it to you when we are outside, when my grandfather's gone to sleep. But he tells him there are three things about the Mogwai. Three really important things. The first one being, do not expose Mogwai to sunlight, especially bright lights or sunlight. It can actually kill them. Do not let it come into contact with water. He doesn't explain why, but we'll come to learn later that that's how they multiply. Basically, that's how they breed. So just one drop of water on a Mogwai and poof, things come out, and the furry ball becomes another Mogwai. And most importantly, do not feed it after midnight. So Randall returns home, gives the Mogwai to Billy as a pet. He already has got a dog, Barney, but he's really happy with the present. And the dog is called Gizmo. Sorry, the Gizmo. The Mogwai is basically given the name as Gizmo, and he tells him about the three rules. And Gizmo is very lovable, and he also seems to have a lot of love to give to Billy, especially. And yeah, so he introduces Gizmo to his young friend Pete, who's the kid in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the young boy is played by, now crazy, uh, uh, Corey Feldman, right? Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention Judge Reinhold has got a small role in this movie as well. Um, so anyway, they knock some water onto Gizmo, and then that's when they find out that the cocoon, the furry little balls that come out of him, they start growing into it. So he gives one to a professor. Is it a school science teacher or something like that? Former school science teacher. And he conducts experiments on him. They both make the mistake of, you know, letting the mogwai eat food after midnight. In Billy's case, the electronic alarm was actually plugged out, so he thought it was still like around 11 o'clock. And he gives the mogwais some fried chicken. Gizmo doesn't eat it because he kind of knows that it's going to be almost midnight. And in the scientist case, he leaves some food out, and the mogwai basically takes it and eats it. The next morning, they're all turned into cocoons, and while they're away, and only Billy's mother is at home, they hatch out, and these evil, ugly-looking things with green skin and scales and stuff, reptilian monsters. That's the one that actually is called Gremlins. And they start torturing Gizmo. They attack Billy's mother. Billy's mother managed to kill some of it. The Professor Hanson is actually killed by his gremlin, and then Billy and his girlfriend Kate, they're actually just starting to date, and she's attacked as well. The bar that she's worked with, all these gremlins kind of get together, and it's a very funny scene over there, to be honest. And yeah, so it attacks a lot of people. They cause a lot of havoc, and finally at the end they manage to kill all the converted gremlin creatures in the is it a yes, the pub, I guess. Excuse me. No, in the theater. Sorry, they were watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is actually really funny. They set off a gas explosion, and all the gremlins are killed, except for Stripe, who was still hungry, and he went to look for more candy at a supermarket kind of thing nearby. So it's up to them to try and stop him. And morning approaches at the same time. Gizmo comes in as well with like he's pumped up because of Rambo, and he opens a skylight, killing Stripe, and before he can get into the water, and Stripe is dead. So as the family is all settled down, things get coming back to normal. Unfortunately, Mr. Wing comes back, and he scolds Randall for taking Gizmo away, and despite his warnings, and he says Western society isn't ready for it. However, he does understand that Gizmo has bonded with Billy, so he lets Billy say final goodbyes to Gizmo, and then they leave. And he says maybe one day, Mr. Wing, he says one day Billy will be ready for taking care of him, and then Gizmo will be waiting in there, which leads on to the sequel basically. Wonderful film. I can't really call it a horror movie, but it's got a lot of comedy in it. It's got some of the horror stuff in it. It's a wonderful watch. Came out in 1984, which makes it 40 years. Damn it. Man, that time just go by. So, yeah, it's a lovely film. It's something which I wouldn't suggest you make small kids watch it, but if they're like 9 and 10, they should be fine with it. That's kind of the age that I watched it at for the first time. My Gremlins is right over there, and I want to take it out, but it's a little bit dusty now, so I'm going to take it tonight. And that basically is the movie, how much would I give it on a scale of 1 to 10? I think I'm going to give it a 9 because it's really, really entertaining. It's really sweet. Gizmo is really sweet, to be honest. And I want to buy one of those Funko Pops of Gizmo, but right now things are beyond my price range. So, yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. The movie was made at a budget of $11 million and made sorry, it made 212.9 million at the box office. So there's that. Yeah, catch you soon on the next vlog. The next review coming up pretty soon.